Пиздец.
One of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded struck off the Russian east coast a few hours ago.
This is the largest earthquake we've had in over a decade worldwide. And it's among the top 10 earthquakes that have been measured by humans in the last century and a half. And so it's quite a large earthquake. What happens is that close by the earthquake on the coastline of Kamchatka, the tsunami was probably quite enormous and damaging, but the coastline itself is very sparsely populated. The main city in Kamchatka, about 150,000 people, is actually in a harbor that's somewhat protected from that. But when the wave that's set up there, again, this earthquake basically moves the seafloor upward by roughly a meter, a few feet, something like that. And that leads to a bulge of water that starts traveling across the ocean.
Tsunami alerts in force for millions throughout the Pacific region. The tsunami threat triggered by a massive 8.8 magnitude quake that struck Russia's Far East hours ago. The first waves hitting Russia and Japan, where nearly 2 million people have been evacuated. This is video from Japan's second biggest island, Hokkaido, where people fled to the highest rooftops that they could find.
A mega thrust earthquake. It happens in a subduction zone. A tectonic plate is going under another, and part of the surface of the ocean is thrust up. Think of a continental plate being thrust up, and it's the push of water from down below that creates the tsunami. There's a lot of energy being pushed out. Now, if you are standing on a boat in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, you might not even notice.
We are getting some pretty remarkable images from where this earthquake struck, when it first struck, off the far east coast of Russia. At the time this happened, doctors in a cancer center were performing a surgery and had to basically hold the patient, as you see there, hold on to the equipment in the operating room, as well as steady themselves. Just an indication of how dramatic this was.
Пиздец.
Over in Hawaii, there was a lot of chaos in the hours leading up to the waves coming ashore there, where there was flooding and there were waves almost to 6 feet high. And as they told people to evacuate, there was a logjam of traffic as people were trying to make their way up to higher elevations, up to buildings 4 stories or higher. Here in Southern California, officials are the most concerned about the current. They're asking people here in LA County to stay out of the water. They're clearing the beaches. They've cleared all the events. They're asking RVs to move because, yes, there wasn't any significant damage here. There wasn't any flooding, which is great news, but these waves are strong.
I want to take you to Russia, where a volcano in this general proximity of this earthquake zone is now erupting. We've seen images of lava oozing from the side of the volcano. Authorities have reported explosions. In fact, there are some tourists in the area who've said they want to stay to watch the eruption. So that is all taking place as this earthquake struck this far east coast of Russia several hours before.